tonight on NAIT NewsWatch. The controversial Keystone Pipeline project has many Albertans concerned about future jobs in our province.
We can't upgrade it all here. Some of it has to be upgraded in the U.S.
Grade 6 students from George P. Nicholson School donate their time to the Boyle Street Community Center.
We're just trying to make a difference in the community and really just help people.
Researchers have found that stroke victims have more time for treatment in emergencies.
They have ways to keep their brain alive, ways that we didn't realize were so robust in the past.
NAIT NewsWatch starts right now. Good evening. Some Albertans are unsure if the Keystone XL pipeline project is in fact in the province's best interest.
The pipeline is currently awaiting final approval from the U.S. Department of State. The department has committed to give a final decision by the end of the year. Our Nicole Brown joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
Once complete, the Keystone XL pipeline expansion will transfer crude oil from existing lines in Canada and the U.S. down to the Gulf Coast of the United States. It is, however, sparking some controversy for a number of reasons.
Bruce Copeland is a chemical engineering technology instructor at NAIT. He is concerned about the outlook many Albertans are taking on the Keystone Pipeline project. He doesn't see it as a threat, but as an economic necessity.
We can't upgrade it all here. Some of it has to be upgraded in the U.S., and right now we have about a 60-40 split between what's upgraded here and what's exported. And as long as we can maintain that split, we're fine.
Not only are there concerns about exporting jobs, people headed to Parliament Hill earlier this week to voice their opinions about the potential environmental damage these pipelines may cause.
I said, what are we here to fight for? Yeah!
Police say they estimate 500 to 600 protesters showed up for the rally. Although the numbers were strong, other environmental voices believe the efforts are misguided, adding that you can't stop the use of oil by trying to cut it off at the source. Many union leaders agree the project has come too far to fight and that it's time to focus on other job creation opportunities.
I don't think we want to get into the debate about whether we like or don't like this thing. It is what it is, right? And it's happening.
Keystone XL will be an expansion of the existing pipeline that carries oil from Hardisty, Alberta into the U.S. The first phase would start here and end in Steel City, Nebraska. The final phase will transport crude from Oklahoma to Port Arthur and Houston in Texas. While short-term gains will come from this partnership, this NAIT instructor believes the real benefits will come down the line.
If they can get into that market, or if the Gateway pipeline goes ahead and we can export to China, then we've got multiple people bidding on our crude, and the value of the crude actually goes up.
Construction will begin in early 2012 once the U.S. Department of State makes their final approval by the end of this year.
What type of environmental concerns are the protesters most worried about?
Well, the majority of them are actually concerned about the actual expansion of the oil industry in general. Others are concerned about the construction and the damage that could come from that construction, as well as possible pipeline corrosion that could cause potential spills.
And how much of that pipeline will actually be on Canadian soil?
Well, there's actually only going to be about 530 kilometers of pipeline in Canada. The rest of the construction is going to take place in the United States.
Thanks, Nicole. That's Nicole Brown reporting live from our news center tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
Students from a school on Alberta's south side got a real eye-opener this week.
The young volunteers had a taste of life in the inner city. Our Laura Paulson joins us from downtown with more on that story.
The Spitzer Sixers are a group of grade 6 students from George P. Nicholson School. These kids are spending their week stepping outside of their comfort zone and seeing their city in a whole new light.
This is Jameson's first time volunteering, and he's excited to be a part of this program.
Today we're just coming to Boyle Street, showing what we can do for the community and people who can't have what we have.
These students are a part of a program run by the city. It hosts 20 schools over the year, getting them out of the classroom and into the community. Today, the grade 6 students are donating their time to the Boyle Street Community Center.
Thank you.
Guys, I need one.
Seems like a good day.
After serving lunch to over 150 people, they spent the lunch hour talking with Boyle Street residents and learning about a neighborhood drastically different from their own.
It's kind of scary because, well, there's people outside, and it was scary the first time I came here.
Jenna, a student in the program, has spent the whole summer preparing for this visit.
I made them for the homeless because I want them to feel like someone actually cares about them.
Teacher Dawn Schmidt is a supporter of programs like this, which teach kids a different way to give back to their community.
It just is a way for them to give back by volunteering time, which is a service, which is free, that we don't always have to give money or things, but your time.
As well as donating their time, these students also donated 2 vans full of other items such as food, clothing, and toiletries. Their next project is to continue donating to East Glen High School's breakfast program, which feeds over 30 students daily.
Thanks, Alora. That's Alora Paulson reporting from City Hall.
Alberta may have a new premier by the end of the night. Albertans registered with the Progressive Conservative Party are able to go to the polls until 7 tonight and vote for a new party leader. Candidates were narrowed down to Doug Horner, Alison Redford, and Gary Marr after a vote on September 17th. Voter turnout was low, with less than 60,000 casting ballots, well below the 97,000 who voted in the 2006 leadership race. After last Saturday's vote, Marr won by 41%.
The city is getting the people of Edmonton involved in the latest budget cut cycle. The city plans on cutting $50 million. Some of the ideas they have received on their draft version of the budget range from raising transit tickets to $3, fewer Christmas lights on White and Jasper Avenues, leaving back alleys unswept, fewer security guards and park rangers, and no more grant handouts for low-income families to get high-efficiency furnaces. We would like to know where you would like the city to make cuts. You can leave us a comment on our Facebook page. Visit facebook.com/newswatch.
Edmonton's first downtown office building in 20 years opened its doors this week. The Epcor Tower is just one of 4 high-rises to be built on the site. Will provide over 2.5 million square feet of retail, office, hotel, and residential living. It is already regarded as one of Canada's most environmentally advanced buildings.
All the lighting fixtures are motion controlled and have daylight sensors, and that we recycle all the rainwater that falls on the site for washrooms, so we're not taking Epcor treated water and literally flushing it down the toilet.
The building is expected to make Edmonton a leader in urban revitalization in North America.
A new breakthrough at the University of Alberta Hospital gives stroke victims more time to receive treatment in an emergency.
2 fingers like this, just 2 fingers.
A review done by neurologists shows that the 3-hour window of opportunity stroke victims have to get treatment is longer than previously suspected.
I used to think that the brain died very, very quickly after an occlusion of the artery. However, these collateral pathways, as we've called them, that a lot of people have, will actually keep the brain alive for many, many hours, sometimes even indefinitely.
Charles Carnell, patient at the U of A, was lucky his wife was quick to recognize the symptoms of his stroke.
I asked him a question and he couldn't answer me. And he just looked at me, he didn't know my name, he didn't know me, he didn't know who he was to.
With modern imaging technologies such as CT scans and MRIs, physicians can treat stroke patients more effectively.
Starting in January, people out on White Avenue past regular hours will be able to catch a safe ride home. The Night Ride late night transportation pilot will provide buses from White and Jasper Avenue between 1:30 a.m. to 3:30 every Friday.
We talked about where would you use late night transit, where would it go, and we discovered that many of those residents live on that south side kind of a route.
The 3-month pilot was supposed to start this September, but was delayed in order to provide more information to communities on the route that they pass through.
One of the things that people were quite concerned about was the level of security at Southgate Transit Centre. And so based on a wide range of feedback, we increased the security to be EPS officer to kick off the pilot.
For more information on the Night Ride late night transit pilot, go to edmonton.ca/nightride.
A 4th-year NAIT apprentice will be participating in the World Skills Competition in London, England this October. After capturing gold in the Canadian skills competition last year, refrigeration and air conditioning mechanics student John Donnan will take part in what is referred to as the Olympics of trade and technology skills.
I'm excited to experience the whole broad spectrum of it, I guess. I mean, like, I'm not expecting to win. I'm not expecting to do anything. I just want to go out there, do my best, and I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Donnan credits his dad for getting him into refrigeration mechanics and is still unsure of his future after NAIT.
I enjoy this. I enjoy the refrigeration trade. It's something new every day. And so I'd like to stick with this for a while and see where it takes me.
Donnan will be showcasing his skills this year overseas from October 5th to the 8th.
Labatt was on NAIT this past week, asking students to take the pledge against drinking and driving. Labatt has been visiting college campuses across the country in order to encourage responsible drinking at the beginning of the semester. Using iPads, students were able to take the pledge on the company's Facebook page.
And if you make that decision before you actually go out for the night, that you're not going to be driving and you're going to make other arrangements, those are the people that we can reach.
For every pledge made on the site, Labatt will donate $1 to True Patriot Love Foundation in support of Canadian military families. Coming up after the break, the Edmonton International Airport puts on a full-scale emergency response exercise. A mock plane crash helps to train emergency responders.
And NAIT students are taking advantage of free study skills sessions.
I'm Tahir, and coming up later in sports, I'll be trying this. Stay tuned.
The Edmonton International Airport's emergency response services were out practicing how to respond to a plane crash.
Firefighters responded to a simulated plane crash battling flames during a training exercise. The response service used a system called the Mobile Aircraft Fire Trainer, or MAFT, to help emergency crews practice controlling and putting out fires.
Every year we have people starting up into the EMS or emergency response world. We test all of the responders from actual our own airport all the way back to the hospital system.
Volunteers from the Red Cross and the City of Leduc also took part in the exercise.
Now we head outside to take a look at the weather with our producer, Aaron Brazovi.
Aaron, are we going to be seeing any warm temperatures anytime soon?
No, David, we're not. A cold front is coming in from the north, and it's going to push all these nice warm temperatures we've been having right out of the province. So let's take a look at the weather boards. In Calgary, there's going to be a low of 2 and a high of 15 with a 0% chance of rain. In Jasper, it's going to be a low of 2 and a high of 7 with 20% chance of rain. In Fort McMurray, we're going to have a low of 2 and a high of 11 with a 10% chance of rain. And in Edmonton, we're going to have a low of 2, a high of 12 with a 40% chance of rain for this morning. And in Edmonton, the average temperature for this time of year is a high of 14 and a low of 2. The record low is minus 11, which was set back in 1883. And the record high is plus 29, which was set in 1987.
Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
So we're not going to be seeing any nice warm temperatures like we saw back in 1987 anytime soon.
Well, that's a little unfortunate.
I guess all good things come to an end.
Thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome.
As students return from summer break, they may run into troubles with their schoolwork.
Luckily, NAIT is hosting free sessions to aid students in developing their study skills. Stephen Dyer reports.
Elliot McCarger is an engineering technology student at NAIT who is taking full advantage of the opportunity to enhance his study skills.
I find that not just this one, but all these seminars are very helpful. They teach quite a bit of different techniques and stuff to learn.
How difficult was that?
I'm not an artist.
While Elliot says he doesn't exactly have problems studying, he is getting all the help he can get.
These seminars allow you to even enhance current skills and stuff that you have. So I think that there's a lot of good to come out of them. So everybody can always, improve in an area some way.
The students who attend the sessions not only gain help from the instructor who runs the workshop, but from other students as well.
I do find them to be beneficial. I find that it's not necessarily the benefit just coming from the instructor, but I find that there's a huge benefit in what the peers can share to each other.
Unfortunately, though, her sessions are grossly underattended.
I think that the biggest competition that we have is just a lack of time.
I plan on coming to most of them. I know I missed the last one, but that's just because I wasn't able to make it.
The next session will be on managing exam stress, and it will be held on Tuesday, October 4th. For NAIT NewsWatch, I'm Stephen Dyer.
So Ty joined us now in sports. So Ty, there's a lot of soccer buzz around NAIT.
I hear both teams are looking pretty strong this year.
That's right, both teams are among the best in the country. I'll have their highlights and much more coming up right now in sports. NAIT's women's soccer team entered last weekend's play as the #1 team in all of Canada, while the men were ranked in second. Both teams were in action on Sunday at Concordia. First up, where the women will pick it up in the second when NAIT's Leanne Cadets dekes out the Concordia defender. She fires home her league-leading 10th goal of the campaign, and it's 1-0 Oops. Then a scary moment, the Thunder forward collides with NAIT's keeper Tara Evans. Both girls remain down, but both would be okay. Concordia was just unable to generate any offense in this one. This late shot sails wide as time expires, and Luke's hang on to win it 1-0 to the men now. NAIT in control early. Joseph Kosturis fires, but is denied by keeper Derek Pershala. Concordia would strike first when Dahan Gajic heads home this corner kick, and it's 1-0 for the home team. Ooks will keep up the pressure, but Pershala turns them away. He stops a pair of chances here, and then Kosturis, he'll fire one off the post. Ooks trail at the break. NAIT finally solves Pershala in the second. Felipe Carvalho tips one up and over, and then he celebrates with this little dance here. That makes it 1-1, and that's how this one would end. Afterwards, both the women's and men's coaches spoke about their team's efforts.
We're just happy to get 3 points. They sat back and they defended quite well. And then we missed some key chances that we shouldn't have missed. But overall, just happy to get 3 points.
They knew they were playing well, so you can't really lose your mind because they know they played a good 45. And that's just the way this game works sometimes. The best teams don't always take all the points.
NAIT's women remain perfect on the year at 5-0, while the men now hold a record of 3-1-1. Both teams will next be in action tomorrow as the Grant MacEwan Griffins come to NAIT. The NAIT Ooks men's hockey team continued their preparation for the season this past weekend. They hosted their annual Blue Gold tournament. 4 of NAIT's biggest ACAC rivals traveled to the Ooks home ice for the event. It allowed all the teams a chance to see the new lineups they will be facing this year.
It's an opportunity for not ourselves, but the other teams involved in the tournament to have a look at the players. There's still some decisions to be made, which players are going to fill the certain roster spots.
Ooks head coach Serge Lajoie also viewed the weekend as a chance for his team to continue to build some chemistry.
We don't want to put too much emphasis on the results of this tournament. We just want to have an opportunity to put our guys on the ice, execute some systems, and really start developing some good habits.
Now, the Ooks are currently in Alaska playing a final pair of tune-up games before the season officially gets underway this Friday. The season for NAIT's golf team is already in full swing, and the team is on its way to the provincial championships. NAIT sent 6 golfers to the Desert Bloom Golf Club in Medicine Hat for the ACACs this weekend. The team does not see themselves as one of the favorites, but will be looking to surprise in an underdog role against some strong competition.
The guys are good, and if everything bounces right, we have an outside chance. But if the betting favorites will be Mount Royal and Grant MacEwan.
Our team's pretty tight. We got a good little core. We have lots of fun, and I think that's the main thing. And we play some good golf too, so that's important too.
In this week's End Zone Challenge, I tackled a sport that I've never played before, or at least it tackled me. Here it is. Check it out. What's up, guys? I'm down at Rundle Park for this week's End Zone Challenge. I'm with the Junior A Wildcats football team. I'm going to be taking some reps as a receiver this week. The guys are currently in their meeting, so I'm going to go get changed, and we'll get this thing started. All right, guys, I'm here with Andrew Johnson, receiver for the Wildcats. So what are we going to be doing today, Andrew?
Today we're going to throw you in some game situations, put you head on head with the DB, see if you can make some plays, see what you take out of it.
started out with some warm-up catches, stretched out a bit, and then got right into it. The coaches gave me some tips on blocking, running routes, and getting my timing down. As the night went on, I found out just how fast-paced this sport really is, and that it's a lot harder to get where you need to be with a safety in your way. So after a lot of running and a few close calls, we did some one-on-ones. The guys really wanted to make me look good, and I was able to haul a few in. But there were a few wipeouts along the way. It became clear that I should stick to hockey, but at the end of the night, the guys let me break it down one last time.
3-2-1 Rex, ready? 3-2-1 Rex! Woo! There you go, man.
All right, guys, that's this week's End Zone Challenge. Shout out to the Wildcats for helping me out.
And we're throwing up the dub.
Back to you.
And we're gone.
Now, my legs are still pretty cut up from that spill, but it was a lot of fun. The Wildcats were a great group of guys to work with.
It certainly looked like you had a great workout.
Sure did. Thanks, Ty.
Coming up after the break, we visit a foster home for dogs.
Find out what makes Second Chance different from other shelters
and
in
it's
Edmonton.
really neat to see that you have a part in rehabilitating them.
Coming up in entertainment, we're going to be looking at some events going on downtown, including Zumba dancing. Now, okay, where was I? Look at me go.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
This past week, Natasha and I went to help out at the Second Chance Animal Rescue Society.
We found out that this shelter has an entirely different way of doing things. The animals who were taken in by SCARS don't stay at a shelter, but are instead placed in private foster homes until adopted. With the rescue shelter being run entirely by volunteers, help and donations from others is always encouraged.
We rely solely on fundraising. We get, I think, 1 or 2 government grants a year, but it's not anywhere near the $2+ million that some other facilities get.
If you're interested in adopting an animal, visit scarscare.org.
If there were a theme this week in entertainment, I think I would have to describe it as a song and dance.
Yeah, we're going from Zumba dancing to looking at the upcoming remake of Footloose. That and more in entertainment.
Film fanatics are flocking to the city to check out the Edmonton International Film Festival. All week long, the Edmonton International Film Festival has played host to a number of filmmakers displaying their work to the public. Audiences have had the chance to view feature-length films in the evenings or short films during the lunch hour. Over the years, the Edmonton Festival has been increasing in its popularity.
The film festival is getting bigger and its reputation is growing, and so I think we're starting to see, some really good films.
The film festival takes place every fall downtown at Empire Theatres and City Centre Mall. Get Frenched. That's been the motto all week long at the Edmonton Chant Festival. May Anderson has been playing music for as long as she can remember. Music has always been a part of her soul, but so has her French identity. The two come together at Edmonton's Chant Festival. The French Music Festival features 50 free shows from 19 different artists. The event has been hosted for 4 years by Edmonton's Old Strathcona District. This is the second time that Anderson has performed in the festival.
It's really a way to get rid of everyday stress, and I just feel so great when I get to perform in front of people and share my love of music.
The festival ends tonight at the Trans Alta Art Barns. And if you want to catch the finale, bands will be taking the stage at 7 p.m. Working in an office all day can get a little boring. So the Edmonton Arts Council has decided to liven up Churchill Square, and one of those ways is through Zumba. Every Tuesday and Thursday at noon, Churchill Square fills with music and dance. For 1 hour, passerbys and local employees of nearby offices get their sweat on through Zumba. It's a kind of aerobic dance that allows you to let loose and have some fun.
2 weeks ago, I left the library, a free library session, and I observed it. So then I gathered a couple of coworkers, and we had a lot of fun last week and today.
Zumba dancing will be going on for as long as the weather permits. For more events in Churchill Square, go to edmonton.ca and look under Attractions and Recreation. Hitting the big screen Canada-wide October 14th, the 1984 classic Footloose comes back to life.
Reverend, this is Ren McCormick. We are so happy to have you with us.
Footloose tells the story of Ren McCormick, a kid from Boston who moves to the small southern town of Beaumont. Ren quickly falls in trouble with the law and discovers that in Beaumont, dancing is not allowed.
Public dance is against the law if you're under 18 in Beaumont. Are you kidding me?
Ren soon notices Ariel Moore, Reverend Moore's daughter. It was the Reverend himself who set up the law prohibiting dancing.
I don't want you to see that boy again.
Why?
Because I've heard he's trouble.
Ren manages to build up a following and decides to challenge the law against dancing. This version of Footloose brings the music and dance to the modern age, featuring hip-hop, country, and even ballet, but keeps the 80s classics as well.
What, you can't keep up?
I know you gotta do what you gotta do, but that ain't gonna stop it from happening.
Footloose is a fun and exciting classic brought back to life that hits theaters October 14th. Fame is a little closer than you may think, and all you need to do is post a couple YouTube videos. Well, that's what Zach King did. King posted 2 videos he made showing cats acting out scenes from Star Wars. The 2 videos were uploaded about a month ago, and collectively, the videos have around 4 million views. King also posted another video showing the making of it, and that shows that no harm came to the cute little kittens. If you want to check out this viral video, just type Jedi Kittens in the YouTube search bar. And even if you're like me and you're not the biggest fan of cat videos on YouTube, that one's a pretty good one, so check that one out. And if you feel like there's a viral video out there that we should feature during our entertainment segment, send us the link at Facebook at facebook.com/NAIT NewsWatch. And that's it for me in entertainment.
Well, I gotta say, I love cat videos. I probably watch one every night.
I can't say that I watch a lot myself, but I'll definitely have to check that one out. And that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us on NAIT NewsWatch.
See you next week.